If you've been following my channel since it started, you've been hearing about Maximum Football since 2019. But the first time anyone had heard about Maximum Football was actually in 2006. Created by one guy, Dave Winter, the original Maximum Football was a PC game where users could either play Canadian, American, or indoor football games with their respective rules. Even back in 2006, the game had an emphasis on user customization, whether that was changing those rules or designing players, teams, uniforms, plays, and playbooks. While I never got to directly speak with Dave, it was interesting that he released his first version of Maximum Football shortly after EA and the NFL signed that exclusive license in 2005. For the last 18 years, there have been numerous Maximum Footballs, each attempting to fill that gaping hole left by NFL 2K, NFL Game Day, NFL Fever, NFL Quarterback Club, NFL Blitz, and more. Maximum Football has been the only Madden competitor post-exclusive license to consistently keep fighting since the beginning. There have been others, such as All-Pro Football 2K8, Backbreaker, Access Football, Legend Bowl, College Bowl, Sunday Rivals, Gridiron, and more, mostly in recent years. But Maximum Football has been fighting this battle for longer than any of them. Being an unlicensed football game has its drawbacks. With no NFL teams or players, it's a tough sell. For someone like myself, I've always been interested in trying out these alternatives, since I'm well aware of EA's monopoly over NFL games. But for your average young Madden player who didn't grow up with an open market in this genre, they had no reason to consider games like Maximum Football. Until now. Dave Winter's 06 release of Maximum Football 1.0 was the start. A version 2.0 came out in 07, followed by a version 2.2 in 08. A decade would go by before Dave Winter, Spear Interactive, and Canuck Play would release Doug Flutie's Maximum Football 2019, a game I reviewed on this channel, followed by Maximum Football 2020 the next year. These games were not great, to put it lightly, and while they had plenty of customization options and essentially provided fans with a new college football game with a dynasty mode before EA did, I was never too high on the games due to the price tag. $30 was a big ask in 2019, but I figured if you wanted to support a competitor to Madden, you wouldn't be getting your $30 worth from the game itself, but you would at least be investing in the future of the series. I didn't even bother reviewing 2020, however, since the game also released for $30 despite barely changing. I believe that an unlicensed sports game had absolutely no reason to be yearly released, since there was no roster to update. I don't think sports games in general, even Madden, should release yearly, so I was pretty much off of the Maximum Football train at that point. I still supported their cause, as competition is important and they were still fighting that uphill battle, but the game was just too expensive to recommend. Dave Winter ended up selling Maximum Football to Modus Games, now called Maximum Games. This new team took the old code for Maximum Football and rebuilt the game in Unreal Engine rather than Unity, and brought a much larger development team and budget with them. So why am I excited about Maximum Football again? Because this game not only looks and plays better than any previous iteration, and by a lot, but the monetization style has completely changed as well. Maximum Football, the new one, is free to play. In my opinion, this is the only realistic way for an indie, unlicensed football game to compete with EA. If it's free and available on consoles, people will play it, even the casual crowd, simply to try it out. This is how games like Fortnite became so big. I remember my friends and I playing a basketball game called 3v3 Freestyle on PS4 simply because it was free. This model works. The base game is 100% free to play. It includes online multiplayer through a mode called Maximum Pro League, which is basically a replica of My Team or Ultimate Team, single player exhibition, the customization suite, and a Dynasty starter mode, which is a limited version of Dynasty mode. I'm a big fan of this. Being free to play means most people will give this a shot and get to see the gameplay for themselves, and that free version is what I'll be reviewing in this video. And if you have a great time with it, you can pay to help fund the game as well as unlock the full Dynasty and franchise modes. Now that you understand the full lore behind Maximum Football, let's review the free base game that is now available on Steam. The game is releasing for consoles soon, but in this early access stage, it is only available on PC. Before we continue, I gotta give a huge thank you to Helix for sponsoring today's video and supporting what I do here on SOFTDRINKTV. Listen, if you're around my age, you're probably getting your own place and you're going to need a mattress. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses customized to fit your needs, and they deliver right to your door with free shipping. You take Helix's sleep quiz online, as I did here, and answer questions about your height, weight, mattress size, which positions you sleep in. I'm a side sleeper who tosses and turns with the occasional stomach sleeping, so I selected that. Then you choose your preference between soft, medium, or firm, and after a few more questions, you get matched with the perfect mattress. I was matched with the Helix Sunset, and thanks to Helix, the Helix Sunset Luxe was delivered to my door, rolled up in a box with free shipping, and quickly after opening it up, I've been using it for over a week now. The quiz was quick and easy, and did a great job of helping me choose the right mattress. If you've ever been to a mattress store, you have to deal with pushy salespeople, and the mattress you take home is never as good as what they have in the store. It's stressful and annoying. Helix makes everything so much easier, man. After sleeping on this mattress for a week, I can't lie, this is easily the most comfortable mattress I've ever used. It's sturdy and tough, but also soft and supporting. I'm able to comfortably sleep on my sides and stomach, and coming from an old mattress, I wake up feeling like I'm 18 again, not 25. I need a soft mattress, but one that has support and doesn't let my body sink to the bottom, which is hard to find without it being firm, but the Helix Sunset Luxe is exactly what I've been searching for. Helix offers a 100-night sleep trial, so there's no risk if you don't end up loving it. Your purchase also includes a 10-year warranty, and Helix offers flexible payment plans and financing options if that fits your needs more. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and ultra-premium Elite collections, the Helix Plus, a mattress specifically designed for big and tall sleepers, and even the Helix Kids mattress, designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. This video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. Their Black Friday sale is running now for a limited time, and it's a great time to upgrade your mattress. Visit helixsleep.com/softdrinktv to get 25% off your mattress, plus 2 free pillows, and receive a free bedding bundle with your Luxe or Elite order. Now back to the review. I jumped into an online game first to try out gameplay. It was ugly, very ugly. The game plays like a jumbly mess where nothing makes sense and it feels completely out of your control. Suction tackling is horrific, as I'll be 5 yards away from a guy only to get tackled. Passing the ball makes no sense either. I got completely cooked by some guy online, and some really strange things happened to me, such as the screen going black for this touchdown, and this fumble on a punt that made no sense. Sometimes I would throw the ball, only to be fumble sacked despite the ball appearing 10 yards downfield. I figured that perhaps the gameplay only looked this bad due to server issues and input lag, perhaps even on my end, since the game said I had high ping, although I have good internet, so I decided to then play a CPU game to see if the game played better, because this was a mess. And holy smokes, wow, the gameplay is actually pretty good. Nearly all of my issues with the online gameplay seem to be caused by lag. With 3-minute quarters and accelerated clock on, the CPU games are actually a lot of fun. Running the ball is the best part of the game, as it's smooth and fluid and lets you move your player through and around small gaps. The physics-based tackling looks pretty decent overall, sometimes really good while other times sloppy. Following blockers works, blocking AI is decent to above average, but passing the ball is still a bit awkward. It takes some practice, but in offline games it's pretty solid. The CPU AI is pretty good as well, and will scramble if there's an opening, will make reads, and will call timeouts when it makes sense to. Despite my awful first impressions from that online game, after playing a few offline matches, I ended up having a lot of fun. This is easily a game I could see myself playing a franchise in. I would say this is the best playing indie football game I've played, and also the most complex on the field. If online gameplay can become indistinguishable from offline gameplay, this might be a good game. There is something here to build upon, and being free to play, this game will receive continuous updates for years. So I'm excited for its future, because this blows away the open beta, as well as any other EA Sports competitor since Backbreaker. It's not as polished as I'd like, and it can oftentimes create a sloppy mess, but for the most part, gameplay makes sense, you can run an offense how you would expect to, and it's fun. Controlling defense is not as good, however, especially in coverage. The kicking game is also way more difficult than I think it should be, although perhaps I need to adjust more to it. When it comes to presentation, this game looks pretty good graphically. especially during replays or when zoomed in. The players in motion immediately let you realize this is no All Pro Football 2K8, but in still images, when it's frozen, it is really impressive, the lighting especially. Player models are solid as well, the stadiums are unique and look nice, and the scoreboard looks a little generic but it gets the job done. Throughout a game, uniforms degrade and get dirtier, and the crowd seems dynamic and loud when it needs to be. There are some cons, however. The commentary team sounds good, but is often very wrong. When calling a play, the guy claims I'm calling an audible. He will commonly say a team missed an extra point after a make. There are plenty of issues like this. It needs to get a lot more accurate because right now it sounds like the guy isn't even watching the game I'm playing. The scoreboard will show 1st and 8 immediately after a 2-yard run, for example. It then changes to 2nd and 8. That should be hidden until it changes the down as well as the yardage. The transitions can be jarring at times too. Replays, however, are pretty good. The game uses a nice variety of camera angles to show a highlight play. Pre-game presentation is good too, and the game even has a coin toss. Like with gameplay, there's a ton of promise here, and it works a lot better offline than online. When it comes to game modes, the main game mode in the free version of Maximum Football is called Maximum Pro League, which is very similar to a Madden Ultimate Team type of mode. You start out with coins and max stacks, the two currencies, and you earn more by either playing the game and completing challenges, daily rewards, and also through microtransactions. In a free-to-play game, I have no issue with a mode like this. In a $70 game like Madden, I have a major issue with a game mode like this when it keeps historic players hidden behind a paywall. That's not the case here. There are a lot of cool equipment options to unlock, such as unique face masks, like this protagonist mask, tattoos, and even face paint designs. Earning currency for free appears to be quite easy, so if you simply just play the game, you'll end up unlocking whatever you want, and you'll quickly get more packs to improve your roster. While the idea that someone could spend a ton of money on packs to build a super team is not something I like, the game does have ranked matchmaking that hopefully ends up being fair. As I mentioned in the gameplay section, the online gameplay in this mode is pretty bad. It's much worse than playing against the CPU, but perhaps this will be fixed soon, or is better on your computer than it is on mine. I will be doing another review over the full game, including the Dynasty and Franchise mode when it's out of early access, to be fair. But for now, I'd recommend playing against the CPU in Maximum Pro League until the online play is more similar to offline play. Other modes include some fun practice modes, exhibition, and team creation. Creating a team is the same no matter which mode you're using it in. Somehow, the game allowed me to name my team this, which was a pleasant surprise coming from Madden. The options for team creation are plentiful, and as you continue to play, you can unlock more face masks and jersey templates in stadiums, and you can customize the equipment of each individual player on your roster. You can also upload your own logos. I think there is enough here right now to have a fun time playing through Maximum Pro League against the CPU while you unlock and acquire more gear and better players. There's a real reason to continue playing with so many unlockable items. Maximum Football in its current early access stage is horrific online from my own experience, but really fun and surprisingly solid for offline play. Since this game is free to play, if you have a PC, you should 100% give it a shot. When it hits consoles, that will be huge for this game, and hopefully server issues are fixed by then so most people can have a solid experience online. The scope of this game is larger than nearly every other indie football game, considering the game has an Ultimate Team-like mode, a Dynasty, and a Franchise mode coming, although the latter two will cost some money. But if you view the game as a $40 game with a Dynasty and Franchise mode with online gameplay in Maximum Pro League, it doesn't sound like a bad deal to me. Being in early access, and considering just how bad my online experience was, I will give this game a 4 out of 10 right now. Is it a better game overall than Madden 25, which I gave a 2.5 out of 10 to? No. So why does this get a higher score? Well, I'm factoring in price. This game is free. I'm factoring in expectations. This is a small studio. And gameplay, while not as polished as EA's, has a base that could end up being something better. College Football 25, however, blows this game away for now. I know there are still a few people in my comments claiming that I lied about College Football 25 being good, but I genuinely enjoy the game. I'm 10 years deep into an online dynasty with friends. I am not lying, and if you accuse me of lying, you have some serious issues. With improved online gameplay and a solid dynasty and franchise mode, along with presentation and gameplay improvements, I think Maximum Football has a pretty high ceiling. I could see this game becoming an 8 out of 10 in a year if they keep working on it like they are. It still feels like a beta right now, however, since it's in early access. Is it worth your time being a free-to-play game? Yes. Plus, this team is very receptive to feedback, and you can directly help shape the future of this game. I think it's our best shot at a legit alternative to an EA-developed football game, unless the NFL ends up signing a non-exclusive license with EA, and then 2K or another high-budget studio can come into the picture. But for now, Maximum Football needs support, and while it also needs a ton of polish, there is something good here behind the scenes. But that's just my opinion. Go ahead and try it for yourself, and stay tuned for my full review of the game once it's out of early access and I can play the full Dynasty and franchise mode once they are polished and complete. Thanks for watching.